And welcome back, everyone, to the This Week in Tiger Athletics podcast. As usual, we will catch up on some of the events going on in Fort Hays State Athletics. I'm Boomer Sabata, and I'm joined with the Assistant Athletic Director of External Operations, Matt Cook,
Hey, Boomer.
and the Sports Information Director, Ryan Prickett.
Hey there, Boomer. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
Welcome back, Matt.
Thanks. It's good to be
It's been a
back.
while.
Welcome back, Matt.
Yeah, I just took a month-long vacation. No big deal.
All right, so let's get started with a quick recap of what went down last week for the Tigers.
Okay, well, last week, one of our biggest events was here at home. It was the Alex Francis Classic, the track and field meet. Big week for both the women and the men. We were able to put up 16 provisional marks altogether. Now, not all of those marks counted, unfortunately, due to it being too windy. So some of the running events where the wind was at people's backs and stuff like that, those actually won't count towards national qualifying later on in the year. But we still had several in a lot of the different field events that put up numbers that they got themselves in the national conversation right now. And so on the men's side, the people that were able to put up their best mark of the year and get provisionals, in the high jump, we had Colt Newell and Lucas Brocksterman. And then in the pole vault, Sam Dreiling and Jake Morrow, they upped their marks. They were all Americans in the indoor season. But and then for the discus, TJ Dozier and Jacob Gahn. And then also TJ Dozier put up a provisional in the hammer. And then on the women's side, Salam Ball, she got a provisional mark in the pole vault, her best effort ever in the outdoor season. And then Courtney Geiger, she tied the school record in the discus, and she got a provisional mark out of that too. So big week for them altogether. And then our baseball team, they went on the road to Emporia State over the weekend. They were able to get one win out of the 3 games they played there, got the series finale, but lost the first 2. And then softball, they went on the road to Missouri Southern Pittsburgh State. Unfortunately struggled to score runs in most of those games. The one that we did score runs, it was a seesaw battle, and they got us in the end. It was Pittsburgh that game. So 0-4 week for them, so unfortunately not the way we wanted that to go. And then tennis, they only played one match here at home. That was against Nebraska Kearney. They did have a lead in that match after doubles, but just didn't capture any of the singles matches, so that one slipped through their hands. And then on the golf side of things, women's golf, we had the women finished 4th at Rockhurst's meet, which was in Wichita. But Hannah Perkins, she tied for 4th individually and got MIAA Golfer of the Week out of that too. So Hannah continues to play pretty well as an individual. And then on the men's side, they finished 5th at the Kansas Wesleyan meet in Salina, Kansas at the Salina Country Club. And Mac McNish, he was our top individual, and he finished 14th. So.
All right, and what events will be happening this week that Tiger fans can look forward to? We'll start with the events themselves, and then we'll go to the promotions that will be at those events.
Okay, yeah. Well, first off, as far as events this week, and Matt's going to get to some stuff coming up here in the coming weeks, probably more than just what's going on this week. But softball, they're going to be at home against Emporia State and Washburn. Which days we're going to play yet is just kind of up in the air. Our weather forecast this week is just not looking very favorable at the days that those are scheduled for, which is Friday, Saturday. So you could see a bump up in the days of when we're playing those. Baseball, they've already made a rearrangement. They're going to be here at home as well, but they've already decided to play Wednesday and Thursday. They were supposed to play Tuesday and Wednesday. So that stuff's been pushed back now. They're going to play Washburn in conference play on Wednesday, and then William Jewell's coming to town for a non-conference game on Thursday. So, and then track and field, they're going to be going out to the Colorado Invitational. That's another scheduling change. They were supposed to go to Northwest Missouri, but since the weather forecast not looking good, it's looking better in Colorado, I guess. So kind of random. And then tennis, they're scheduled to be at home this weekend against Lindenwood and Southwest Baptist on Saturday, Sunday. That we don't know yet. We may know further word on that later in the week if those are going to change. And then also for the week coming up, not this weekend, but early next week on Monday and Tuesday, men's golf's going out to Pueblo, Colorado for a tournament, and then women's golf, they're going to Springfield, Missouri. So then I guess, Matt, like what do we got for promotions coming up here pretty soon?
So actually, sadly, I have actually been working in the office this whole last month, but we just haven't had any promotional things to talk about at our upcoming events. But here in the month of April, we do have some stuff coming up that I can talk about. So we always have our annual Pack the Park baseball game. Something we've done every year. It's our big baseball game of the year. We try to get all the fans out to see it. That game is scheduled right now for Friday, April 13th at 7 o'clock. It's actually the only baseball game that we charge admission for as far as the fans go. Students still get in free with their Tiger card, but for the fans, for the public, it's $5 for adults, $3 for kids. But we have a couple bounce houses out there for the kids. So we have 2 bounce houses. Those are free for the kids to come on out and jump around and have fun in that. We'll have some students there watching, make sure nothing gets out of control there. And the big draw there are the concession stand specials. So for those of you that don't know, Larks Park is off campus. It's not on campus. So alcohol is actually served there along with all the other drinks. So there's $1.50 drinks, $1.50 hot dogs, $1.50 hamburgers at Pack the Park. So that's the draw there. We want you to come on out, enjoy the concession stands, bring the kids out, have them bounce in the bounce house and watch some baseball. So our baseball team is playing Northeastern State, I believe, on April 13th.
That's correct.
Last year, Pack the Park, we had to cancel it and move it 2 or 3 different times because of weather, which right now, this week, it's not looking good. We'll see what happens there on April 13th. But there is a backup date for that, which would be Friday, April 27th, in case it's rain or weather or something, in case that game gets moved. So that's Pack the Park coming up Friday, April 13th. And then Saturday, April 21st, is our spring football game. The spring game is funny. Coach Brown, when he first got here, he said that his very first spring game, he feels like it was only his wife and kids and a few other people in the stands. It was nothing. It was real small.
Yeah.
And we try to grow that every year. And last year we had around 400 people there. So this year we're going to try to make that number even bigger and just keep it going. Coming off the season we had last year, people are excited about football, and I think we're going to have a good crowd. And we're going to treat this one more like a game than we have in the past. Coach is always worried about getting people hurt and not really wanting to tackle and be careful what they do. But he's gonna treat this one. I think they're gonna play quarters. The game's gonna start at 2 o'clock, and we're gonna open up the tailgate lots like we did all year, 4 hours before. So we're gonna allow people to come and tailgate. So those open up at 10 in the morning. Game starts at 2. There's actually a youth football camp going on from 10 to 12 before that starts. And if anybody's interested in that, go to our website, fhsuathletics.com. There's a summer camp link on there. You'll see information who to email. And then at that camp, they're going to have the winners do a pass, punt, and kick competition at halftime of the spring game. So the game's going to start at 2. We'll do pass, punt, and kick at halftime of the spring game with some of those camp winners and kind of showcase their skills a little bit. And then we always do a fan engagement part. Actually, we started it last year. I shouldn't say we always do it. We started it last year. So when you come in the doors to come to the spring game, you can sign up. You're going to fill out a waiver, sign the waiver, and then sign up to do a fan engagement portion where we're going to line you up and we're going to randomly draw, I don't know how many people, but you're going to kick a field goal live. You're going to try to catch a punt live. So now the players aren't going to hit you, but they're running at you like they could hit you. So when you're catching a punt, they're coming down, they're flying at you, and you got to catch it on the run and go. So kick a field goal, catch a punt, throw a pass. You're playing quarterback, throw a pass, call a play in the huddle. We did it last year. It was a blast. It was the players really liked it. So we called all of our winners down and had them come down, and then I said, all right, you come on, you're going to kick this extra point. We brought them out. They snapped it, they held it. Our fan kicked it, and it was fun. It was actually was a good time. So we're going to do that again this year. So hopefully everybody wants to come out and see the team. They started spring ball last week, I believe. Yeah, they are actually having scrimmages every Saturday leading up, but they're just small. I mean, they're just little scrimmages up until the spring game where they're really going to get after it, which is their last practice of the spring, and then they'll have summer to work out and get ready for the fall. So that's kind of some of the fun things we have coming up here in the month of April.
Yeah, so I'd just say definitely look at fhsuathletics.com for all the updates as we go through. So
definitely. And that'll do it for this week's edition of the This Week in Tiger Athletics podcast. Huge thanks go out to Matt Cook and Ryan Prickett for coming in and giving us some important information regarding Fort Hays State Athletics. On behalf of Matt and Ryan, I'm Boomer Sabata saying goodbye and go Tigers.